Greetings and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where the Mexican Socialist Republic is engaging in nation building in the far north, in what is now known as the Canada Popular State, a communist revolution financed and funded by the MSR and instigated by our operatives and agitators, and they have successfully managed to conquer vast swathes of Canada. In fact, the last remaining major city is the free city of Vancouver, and they shall not remain free for too long, although our Canadian friends seem to be taking a rather long time to capture them. Fortunately, Martin Bustamante has led a brave expeditionary crew of Mexican revolutionary soldiers into the Canadian lands, the lands of the Canadia, in an effort to not only bolster support there for the Mexican Socialist Republic, for the Canadian leadership of the Canada Popular State are stubbornly refusing to join in the Green Dawn, as is obviously their ultimate destiny, whether they like it or not. So Martin is there in order to convince the ruling parties of our awesomeness, and in case his persuasive powers alone, not to mention cases of tequila and Cuban cigars, are insufficient, we are also going to demonstrate our military prowess. Unfortunately, he does find himself on completely the wrong side of Canada to be able to do this, so it's going to be quite a long march for the Bustamantes, but frankly, it's going to be a bit cathartic for them. They have a lot to prove back home in the MSR, and so marching the entire length of the continent across the entire width and breadth of Canada to reach Vancouver, if they can do this before the Canadians themselves and demonstrate how incredibly capable our armed forces are, then perhaps that too will convince the Canadians to make the right choice. And if that doesn't work, then the vast quantities of tequila and Cuban cigars that we are doling out along the way will no doubt make the difference. And then the United States will know our wrath with our Canadian friends to the north and the Mexican Socialist Republic to the south. Their fate will inevitably be sealed. Of course, that is all rather a long way off at this point, and we should probably look to begin our planning and preparations, for Gallardo has arrived back in Mexico. And look at this, look at the Americans, obviously so utterly terrified of the awesome power and intellect of the man himself, Gallardo Magna, the most awesome and charismatic individual in all of the Americas. They are bringing down many fresh troops to the border. It's a slight worry, actually. They do have a lot of troops piling up on the border, but I'm sure that Gallardo can come up with an incredibly cunning way in order to successfully invade the United States. Because he has already decreed that those states lost by Mexico will be regained. We shall regain California. Let's just pause it, for the Boffins have just handed me an important note to say that they have completed research of some more mechanized infantry equipment, which is fantastic, which means we now need to, of course, decide what our next course of action is. Should we maybe make, even better mountain infantry? There are a lot of mountains in the south of the United States. Let's do that. We're going to research Mounted Infantry 2, more and better special forces for our forces to be special. In fact, you know what? We actually don't have that many special forces, so let's just make Mechanized Infantry 3. There we go. That's even better. That is an even better and more awesome plan. Look at this. Just 177 days. 176 days until our nuclear weapons research program is completed. We have available planes in reserves, but I don't see any reason to deploy them just yet. How are you getting on, Martin? Look, he's actually split his forces up. 2 of his men are so eager to reach the city of Vancouver that they have just charged off ahead. Obviously, they are, presumably it's these 2 here. It's these 2 Infanteria Bravados, who are generally fitter and more awesome than the rest of the Infanteria divisions, plus they're not dragging rocket artillery after them and things. Once again, the Boffins have completed a research in the form of Field Hospital 3. Fantastic. That will definitely help to keep some of our bods alive. No doubt, possibly we could get some maintenance for some of the awesome trucks and mechanized infantry, and indeed tanky Maximos and tanky Ultimos. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to get maintenance companies. We have long neglected the maintenance company, the maintenance of our equipment, and I'm told that that's actually quite important. Anyway, Gallardo, we were actually going to bring you up to the border here, and in fact, let's rejig this. Let's delete this front line, and we'll make the front line instead like this, all the way along. Louis obviously has responsibility for this section. It's quite a large section. Assign all of your troops to that, Louis. It's still paused for some reason. Gallardo, on the other hand, is going to set up his front line right here, right there, and then we are going to begin the planning process for the conquest of course, Los Angeles to San Francisco. Oh yes, that is the plan. Look, here it goes. That's quite a lot of that is an enormous amount of territory that Gallardo is thinking about taking in his current planning process. That's not really what I had in mind, Gallardo, if I'm honest. Perhaps I'll just kind of execute the plan myself, and you can just sort of, take responsibility for whatever bits you think are the most important. World news! The United Kingdom announces Balkan diplomatic initiative. The United Kingdom is not alone in seeing the threat rising in Central Europe. With their status as an independent nation guaranteed by the now challenged Treaty of Versailles, or with fascist powers in their aggressive rhetoric claiming right to their territory, several states have seen the need to lead a pro-British policy. The United Kingdom has responded to this development by redoubling their diplomatic efforts in the region. Really? I don't know if there's any fascist states left in Europe, if I'm honest, unless France has turned fascist, which, let's face it, is distinctly possible. But no, the British continue to be a grave threat to the stability of Europe, as do the French, who, between the two of them, frankly, are a bit of a nightmare, it has to be said. Look, should we try changing this plan here? Gallardo, what we actually want you to do, how about you just take Los Angeles? There we go. That's like your initial plan. It's a pretty straightforward plan, and I'm sure that you can somehow achieve it. Apparently, you're just going to take here and then Los Angeles. If you say so, Gallardo. If you say so. We should also bolster your forces up to your maximum size of 24. I think probably what we're going to need is some tanky Ultimos. Look at that, 4 tanky Ultimos ready and willing to join Gallardo in the glorious push up the west coast of the United States to take Los Angeles and, of course, San Francisco, and possibly other places as well. Where does California end? Look, we probably want to take Sacramento and other such places. Meanwhile, Louis, good old Lou, you are probably going to want to advance into New Mexico and Texas and possibly Arizona as well, because we've put quite a lot of responsibility on your broad shoulders there, Louis Farrell. This is going to be your time to shine. Where's Martin Bustamante? Oh look, Martin Bustamante has arrived in on the border of the Canadian Popular State Front. He is advancing in. Look, the Canadian army has just stood there. The Canada Popular Front army has just stood there, not doing anything. It took Martin Bustamante. Look, let's pause it. Victory for Martin Bustamante. He has staged a stunning demonstration of the awesome power and incredible capabilities of the Mexican Socialist Republic by single-handedly capturing the last remaining outpost of Old Canada and handing it over to the Canada Popular Front, or state, whatever they're called. The Canada What? The Canada Popular State has joined the Allies? After Martin Bustamante you weren't even doing anything. Oh, that is outrageous. That is properly outrageous. Canada Popular State took 11 states. Canada was annexed. 1,801 equipment has been seized. Alright, let's slow things down and let's just take a moment to take stock here, because this is clearly utterly outrageous and despicable. Martin Bustamante, I mean, he completed his mission. We really can't blame Martin for this. We also have some requests up here. Call to arms request from the Austrian Soviet Republic. We'll take a look at that in a moment. We have 3 military factories, which we should totally assign whilst we are here. Let's put another one on jet fighter production as, these allies. The allies, what nefarious and perfidious people these allies must be to have insinuated themselves with the glorious workers' state of Canada Popular State and somehow managed to convince them to join the Allies, despite the fact that the Allies have no other communist members and are at war with... in fact, now that means that the Canada Popular State is going to be at war with Comintern. Soviet war on... Yes, look, they are at war with all of these glorious communist states. I mean, to be fair, Stalin kind of deserves everything that he gets. We understand that, and we kind of agree, but nonetheless, they really should have joined the Green Dawn, who are neutral in the conflict between the Allies and Comintern. Wow, okay, we really need to sit back and kind of reconsider our position and decide exactly how we're going to proceed from this point, because frankly, it's a bit of a mess right now. Also, well, first things first, Canada Popular State, you have lost the right to have loaned forces from us. So let's just enter some diplomacy here. We are going to cancel the lend-lease of our infantry equipment. No more will you receive infantry, glorious Mexican Socialist Republican infantry equipment of the highest order, number 3. Also, we cannot support countries being at war by sending them equipment. We can support, but we don't want to anymore. We want to cancel that. Have we cancelled it? Are they coming home? Let's unpause it. The Canada Popular State has accepted our modified lend-lease. Yeah, you have, you filthy. Look, they still really like us. And in fact, they would join us, except that they are already a member of a faction. I'm so appalled right now. I'm so thoroughly and terrifyingly appalled at Canada Popular State and their perfidious behaviours. All right, Canada Popular State, that's it. Your card is marked. Once we have dealt with the United States, we're coming for you, and you will taste Mexican Socialist Republican justice and honour and dignity and such like. Meanwhile, Bustamante, you better come home. How are you going to come home? How can he come home? We'd like you to catch a boat home, maybe. Can we order him to come home? No. Can we order him to come to a port? Martin, come home, Martin. Look, he's just stuck out there. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to do it. Maybe we could just have him take Vancouver for us. Should we justify war? Should we justify war on the Canada Popular State? We've got to justify war on somebody. I mean, you know, if we have a justification, then undoubtedly, it is with the Canada Popular State, who now are obviously top of our hit list. Once again, the Mexican Socialist Republic has been betrayed. This is utterly outrageous. All right, let's get past it. Let's move past it and consider our next move. First of all, we need to get Bustamante home, which I guess we have to do diplomatically, right? Send volunteers. We want to cancel this. How do we cancel volunteers? Do I have to do it from Bustamante here? There must be a way. There must be a way. Hold the division. Click to unassign. Disband all selected. I suppose I could just disband the army. What's this? Oh yeah, I can totally set their colour. This is something someone pointed out to me, and I have not so far done it. Look, let's set Martin Bustamante's expeditionary force to orange, for orange is the colour of danger. Danger, danger. We don't know what's going to happen in the near future. Also, of course, Gallardo, we can totally set his colour whilst we think about it. Let's set his colour to wizarding purple, because he is, of course, the wizard of the world. The wizard of the Mexican Socialist Republic. The wizard of the war room. That's what he is. And that is exactly what he does when he does it, when he needs to inflict terrible and awesomeness. Terror and awesomeness on all of his enemies. Clearly, we need to get things started with the Allies. When's our war machine going to be ready to roll? We probably want, look, 56 days. 56 days for nuclear bombs. We definitely want some nuclear bombs. How long will it take if we justify war with Venezuela, who, of course, you know, are always and remain a part of the Mexican Socialist Republic, despite what has happened with peace treaties in the past. Filthy, stinking peace treaties. Also, they've got quite a lot of productive capacity. It would be nice to grab. Justify war. Conquer. If we were to conquer Miranda, that would take us 125 days. So, we would definitely have a bit of time on top of having completed our nuclear research. We could maybe like extend it a little bit, another 25 days. And Bolivar, 175 days. It's more political power. We've got masses and masses of political power, though. We really don't have to worry too much about that. but it would give us... And then we declare war on Venezuela, we attack Venezuela, the Allies weigh in, and then we launch our glorious war machine against the enemies in the United States. Let's do it. Let's do it. I have issued... We are so angered. Look, Dino Inca is obviously going to make a speak now. People of the Mexican Socialist Republic, the betrayal of the Canada Popular State of the ideals of the communism for which we have fought so hard cannot be forgiven. But first, we must look to our own backyard to address the injustices which we have suffered at the hands of these allies and their nefarious diplomatic shenanigans. They have no honor, and only through the awesome negotiating power of Trotsky will we able to secure even a modicum of our dignity. But I tell you this, we shall stand no more for this treatment of our glorious regime. No, my friends, this day I tell you, we will justify war on Venezuela, which remains in my heart and in the hearts of the workers of Venezuela who even to this day pine for the tequila and the Cuban cigars. They are, all of them, Mexican, and we shall bring them their liberation with the Revolutionary Army. And if the Allies think that they can intervene, then, my friends, they will meet the full force of the Mexican armed forces. Air, land, and sea, our canoes stand ready, and our jet fighters wish to be tested against the inferior technology of the Americans. Yes, my friends, this truly will be the time of the Mexican Socialist Republic. A glorious speech by Dino Inca there. Magnificent, as always, and obviously now the country is preparing itself to get onto a war footing. We've got 33,000 volunteers ready to go. I guess we can't actually go up to all adult serve until we're actually at war, but we will, the moment the time comes, we will jump up to all adult serve. Let's unpause it and allow the clock to continue to run forward. Should we maybe make some of these other appointments that we've just never quite gotten around to? Chief of the Navy, Commerce Raiding Expert, Naval Maneuvers, Naval Speed plus 10%. Let's grab that. The canoe fleets need extra capacity, obviously. Extra movement capacity. Military High Command, Armor Expert, Armor Division Attacks plus 10%. Or Strategic Bomb. Let's go for Armor Expert. The Tanky Maximos. Also, the Boffins, redoubling their research efforts, have completed their work, their great work on direct ground support, which of course will allow our jet fighters and bombers and close air support to work ever closer and more awesomely with our armed forces, which is good. Ground support plus 20%, formation flying, air superiority, mission efficiency plus 15%. Ace generation chance plus 25. Oh, I totally want aces. I want there to be Mexican aces flying jet fighters over the skies of the United States. Clearly, this is the way that it must be. This is the way that it must transpire, and that is indeed the way that it shall transpire. Gallardo, of course, is making his plans with his admittedly sort of slightly pinkish-looking planning system that he's got here, but he doesn't mind because this guy here is so cocksure. He's so awesome. He's so well-rooted in the myth and legend that is Gallardo the cocksure commander who cannot fail, that frankly, his masculinity is just not in question. And actually, this is probably an era when pink was considered a manly colour anyway. So, frankly, he's fine. He's absolutely fine with it. He loves it. He loves all there is about it. And his planning shall continue until he has come up with the perfect and most glorious surprise attack that the Americans will never see coming. In fact, we could do a naval invasion, We could totally do a naval invasion. We could come round and take somewhere. Is that a port? That's not a port. We're far up into the north. We could take this port here. I mean, they would not be expecting that, would they? They would totally not be expecting that. I don't know if we would be able to supply it well enough. That's the problem. But we could think about it. I mean, why don't you start making that plan, Gallardo? Look, naval invasion from here. Oh, we'd have to move back, wouldn't we? We would have to move back to make it happen. And put Louis Farrell back in charge. I think fighting just along here is probably going to be... No, you know what? I can't do it. I've got to go for the naval invasion now. I've thought about it. It's got to be done. It's going to put him probably out of range of like air support and things. But the Americans, they will just not see it coming. They won't see it coming. All right, that's it. That's what we're going to do. Obviously, he's going to start thinking about the best form of disguise for this particular naval invasion. We're not going to go straight for San Francisco because... it probably will be... Well, maybe it won't. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go straight for San Francisco. Straight for San Francisco. We'll take San Francisco and then we'll fight back down to join up with advancing forces from down here. Meanwhile, and of course, we can't do all of the troops for that. Meanwhile, the rest of the troops will sort of like fight their way up. So let's take... It would be nice to have some Marines, wouldn't it? For this particular invasion. Let's just take the Infanteria Bravados. Here we go. Look, we're going to take this... These guys, and maybe some tanky ultimos. Can you land with tanky ultimos in like a massive, awesome invasion? They're probably better off fighting their way up, aren't they? Let's take these guys and these guys. How many's that? Selected 7. Take 1 unit of Chuck Chicos. You know what? Let's beef up the Division de Cavalleria. Let's beef them up. We'll take them. Division assignment. There. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is awesome. Right, so we've got 2 Division de Cavalleria that we need to totally beef up and turn into some kind of awesome death squadrons of incredible power and glory. Let's just edit them as they are, and we'll make them totally awesome in some way, shape, or form. We can throw in some anti-tank. It's just like, I don't know, is this a good idea? Does this even work? Anti-tank, and then, of course, what else but 40. Combat with the 40. There we go. It's perfect. It's brilliant. It's just undisputably. We'll put a recon company in there, put an engineering company in there, we'll put some support artillery in there, and we'll put some support anti-tank. There we go. It's going to be awesome. The Cavalleria have been converted from awesome cavalry units into, in fact, can we still keep them as cavalry units if we like make this cavalry? 1 unit of horse followed by mech infantry, and this needs to remain as confusingly a picture of a horse. Where's the picture of the horse? You know what? This will do. There we go. The Cavalleria, the Cavalleria have been remade, returned into a fantastic new form in which there is still a cavalryman, but in addition to the cavalryman there is mechanized infantry, artillery, rocket artillery, all sorts of amazing stuff. I mean, look at that soft attack. Their hard attack is not particularly great, but they've got an amazing soft attack. Defense of 596, breakthrough of 143. They are just shocking in their awesomeness, all of their general awesomeness. It's obviously the most finely constructed and conceived of division of awesome Cavalleria ever to have been envisaged. And they will be the flagship division of this. In fact, we'll make them elite. Look, there we go. We'll make them elite, and obviously they'll only have the very best of the best of the best of the best. Save! We've spent a vast amount of our available army experience forming this new and awesome division, specifically tailor-made for the attacking of the Americas. I don't know if it actually is going to be any good for attacking the Americas. The hard attack of 73.6 seems a little bit low, if I'm honest. I mean, what does that compare to, like, one of our, like, tanky Ultimo? Their hard attack is like 516. Yeah, they've got much better hard attack. But you know what? Never mind. It's all good. It's all fantastic, in fact. We have free military factories. We probably need to produce more of something now. We need to switch this over to Mech Infantry 2. Start producing those, and we might as well stick that extra factory on there. How is our construction working going on at the moment? We are building another nuclear power plant. Another nuclear power plant is being constructed in the name of the glorious Empire of Mexico. We've also got infrastructure going in. We'll beef that up a little bit more. We'll put more rocket sites in as well to prepare more rocket strikes on our enemy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So many rocket strikes. So many glorious strikes of a rocketry type. We'll also build some more military factories, because once the war starts, we will lose our German industrial estate, which of course means we will lose production capacity. So we'll just kind of like make sure that we're beefing that up. In the meantime, there we go. All lots of construction orders have been issued. Plus, of course, our air wings are being bolstered ever more and ever greater. Look at this. Look at this. We've got rockets standing by. We have rockets standing by to strike at our enemies. What would be even more awesome is even better rockets. Even more awesomely powerful and devastating rockets. More rockets. Rockets everywhere standing by for attack. The Americans don't know the ire that they have unleashed in the form of the anger and fury from the Canadian Popular State betrayal. Curse your sudden and inevitable betrayal, Canada Popular State. You shall discover that our vengeance is mighty. Unfortunately, Bustamante here still has not come home. He's obviously still hoping that he can bust the manties of the people here and make them see the error of their ways. Close air support 3, that's what we're building at the moment. That's all good. That is all good. We could build some paratroopers and paratroop them in across the Americas, but let's not do that immediately. National focus has been set, or no national focus has been set. We might as well, I guess, get capital ship effort just for the sake of it whilst we're here. Aeroplanes available in reserves. Yep, we know we've got lots of aeroplanes available in reserves. They will be deployed in due course. We have low manpower. We know that too. But the world stands upon the edge of a knife, and we, the Mexican Socialist Republicans, intend to stray. Not but a little, but a lot. And the world shall fall. Or at least something will happen anyway. Some kind of great conflict will take place. Let's just quickly pause it. We've got another military factory has been produced. Let's put that on. More mechanized infantry equipment 2. Maintenance Company 1 has been researched by the boffins. Excellent. We should probably get you guys in on maintaining our stuff. Maintenance Company reliability plus 5%. Sure. Should we just keep researching down that path? Or hold on. Or maybe even more wonderfully, we could get improved rocket engines too, to improve the capability of rocket interceptors and our long-range guided missiles, which we shall rain down upon our foes in the very near future. How is that war justification coming along here in Venezuela, my friends? When will the war begin? 20th of June 1946. It is currently the 19th of Jan 1946. The time draws ever nearer. Missing equipment production. What are we missing? Anti-tank. Oh, we need to produce anti-tank stuff. Okay, well, totally. Let's do that. Look, we need, well, super heavy tanks. We're building like excess super heavy tanks right now. So let us build some anti-tank. Anti-tank. Do we not actually? We probably haven't actually researched anti-tank, which is perhaps why we can't. All right. Where was that? You guys, I may have made a slight mistake. We don't need that anti-tank. Instead, what we'll have is, I think, a maintenance company. Yeah, we've got some stuff that needs maintenance. Let's go with that. Save. Excellent. Also, let's edit the Tanky Maximos, and we'll add a maintenance company to them. Excellent. And also the Tanky Ultimos. Add a maintenance company to them. Good work, guys. We've got one more left, so we can actually put on the Mech Chicos. Can also get a maintenance company. Fantastic. They've done it. It's fine. Save. We're now down to 2 army experience, and that's it. I think that was actually a research complete. Let's check it out. Select technology to research. All right. Fantastic. Our doctrines are coming along nicely. Combined arms researched. Tanks and armor variants. Soft attack plus 10%. Hard attack plus 10%. That's going to be good. Tactical control enables tactics. Tactical withdrawal. Reinforced rate plus 2%. And airline battle requires technology tactical control. Affect all frontline battalions. Gain organization plus 5. Air support plus 20%. I mean, that could be quite good. Let's go with it. go with it. We'll continue researching down this path here. And soon, our great and glorious victory will be upon us. But we do need to figure out how to get Bustamante back. Let's do that now before anything continues too far. Unless, of course, he just attacks from the north. Could he do that? Would he even be allowed to do that? Frankly, I'm not sure. He is on loan at the moment to our enemies. Send him home. Send volunteers. Modify Lend-Lease. I think I may have been continuing to send them. All this time, I may have been continuing to send the perfidious Canadian Popular States Infantry Equipment 3. Hopefully, we have been sabotaging it and leaving, like, you know, little tiny explosives in there that we can detonate remotely when the time comes for Canada to fall to our might and glory. Surely I can just cancel the whole thing. There we go. Cancel the whole thing. Send volunteers. You have already sent as many divisions as you're currently allowed to send. Yeah, I want to bring them back, if that's okay. Let's just bin them. Disband all selected units. They're not doing it. They're refusing orders. Martin! A2, Martin! Are you sure you want to disband 6 units? 6 units are not located in home theatre. You will lose 75% of their equipment. All armies that won't have any divisions will be automatically removed. No, I want them to come home. Come home, Martin! Come home! Alright, well, you know what, Martin? You'll have to figure out exactly how you're going to come home and let me know, because we're not having you out there unless you're going to be some kind of awesome, like, you know, attacker to, like, just charge in through the north of the United States. Like, come over here or something and just, like, charge down through the heart of the United States, conquering territories like a boss until he meets up with our advancing forces and, like, cuts the United States completely in twain. This could be utterly glorious and magnificent if it were to happen. And I see no reason why it should not happen. But of course, that is going to be next time, because once again, we have run out of time. What a period it has been. What a strange and tumultuous time. Our efforts with the Canada Popular State have been thrown back in our faces. Inexplicably, they have chosen the Allies over their brothers in the communist revolutionary countries. They will, of course, come to rue that decision. But until that day, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.